This is London's CHAP CAST!
Hey, what's happening? February, yes. Okay, so we have reached the episode where I am going to bring the tally to a close, and then we'll go on to the solo stuff, if you like. Okay, so yeah, but one thing that I didn't mention last week was quite a big gig that we played. We supported a band called Proud Mary. Us and our friends band FC20 supported Proud Mary. It was when I had Spug, Shan and Sam in the band. And it was at the 100 Club on Oxford Street. So yeah, that was an amazing venue to play at. Yeah, but I did search for like recordings from the gig or whatever. But back in them days, I don't think that we was on it at all. Like Sonic, like trying to record video and stuff of where we was playing. We just wanted to get on stage and then get out of our nuts. All right. Anyway, so that part of the tally's gone. Anyway, so all right. So we are. We've got me, Richard Fox on bass, and Jack Yetton on the pots and pans, and then we have got Chris on lead guitar. But sadly, Chris has come to the decision that it's his time to go and he's going to leave the band, but he didn't leave us in the lurch. Nice one. He said to us, go and find a guitarist. I'll stay in the band till he is up to scratch with the tunes, which was top of him. So we searched, and through a friend of a friend, we found Steve Smith. So Steve joined the band and we rehearsed, the five of us with Chris in the room as well. He kept coming to rehearsals and that, and at this point he had moved out of London as well, and he was like when we went up to the Cavern, what he'd done, crazy, he drove like down here to my house from where he lived out of London, like in his motor, parked his motor at my house, and then we had to go down Kentish Town, get a hire van, and then bring it back to where I lived to pick everyone up. Then he drove to Liverpool, like, done a gig, stayed there quite late, early hours of the morning. Like, we was just in the pubs and that, all around the Cavern. That it was a good night, man. But then he's drove home to my house in London. Then my pal Dean drove his car, or was it, I can't remember, he drove his car or the van or something, and we drove it down to the place in Kentish Town, left the van outside their place, posted the keys through their letterbox, then Chris swapped over into his car, and me and Dean, he dropped us back here in his motor. Not that it was far, but it's still a 20-minute walk or whatever, 15-20-minute walk. And then he drove back to where he had moved to out of London, and yeah, so that was a long day for Chris, man. And yeah, I just think that he was a bit older than us. We was a bit crazy for him, and do you know what I mean? But yeah, so sadly, Chris has come to the decision that it's his time to go, and that. So we searched around, we found Steve for a friend of a friend, started rehearsing and that, and then when Chris thought Steve was ready, he said, right, book a gig, I'll play the gig with you, but I'll sort of stand by the drummer, you know what I mean, with his guitar or whatever, and if Steve has problems, I'll step in with whatever he's having trouble with, which which was amazing. So we booked a gig at the Bull and Gate in Kentish Town, the good old home venue that is no longer a venue. And I've got a track from that gig. It's a cover tune actually. We're playing a cover of The Who's Can't Explain, and it went a little bit like this.
Chris is off.
Jesus Christ.
You can hear Chris at the beginning of that track going off on a tangent. Funny. So after that gig, that was it. Chris was off, gone, and then it was down to the four of us. Me, Richard, Jack and Steve. And I have found a track. I think it's free, and it's from the next gig that it was our next gig. Steve didn't have Chris in the background to fall on if things went wrong. But yeah, and this is it's free at the Enterprise in Camden, and here we go. Yes, and that was It's Free live at the Enterprise in Camden Town. And that was like Steve's second gig, but his first proper gig, you know what I mean? Yeah. So going on, another gig that we played, I don't know if it was the one after that or the one after that or the one after that. Yeah, it's a venue that is great, and it's Monto Water Rats once again. This time with Steve playing the guitar. Yeah, and we're playing a new tune, well, newish tune, called Teenage Wasteland. But I've got a demo we recorded with the 4 tracks on Teenage Wasteland. Wasteland is one of the tracks, so I won't speak about it now. I'll just let you hear it. Yeah, so this is Teenage Wasteland with Steve, the 4 of us at Monto Water Rats, King's Cross, and here we go.
This first tune is called Teenage Wasteland.
Yes, and that was Teenage Wasteland, Monto Water Rats. Yes. So next up we will go to the summer of, I can't even remember what year, but the friend that introduced us to Steve, or the friend of a friend who introduced us to Steve, he used to put on a festival in the summer in his wife now's dad's back garden, which is outrageously quite big. It's mental. He used to put this little festival on called Broadstock, and he was like, well, I can't remember. We see him or whatever, and he's like, do you want to play this festival, Broadstock? Like, he's like, yeah, sweet, all right, nice one. So like, because he'd been putting it on for a few years, and previously I'd seen my friend Cookie John Jones. I've seen his band play at it. The Mercenaries, I think he was in a few bands, Cook, but Mercenaries was probably the most successful. But I went and saw them play at this festival, and you stayed a night in tents and all that. It's just, it was a right laugh, like, and then like, and then every year you're sort of like, oh, can't we play it? And like, he's like, oh, the bill's already full, whatever. But it's strange. The minute we had Steve in the band, the bill wasn't full for us anymore. We could get on it quite easily, and we played it a few times. Like, it's not what you know, it's who you know, isn't it? So basically, this is the second time we played it, and I've got a couple of tracks to show you. One of them's quite funny actually, but first of all, I've got us playing my song Black Blanket. So let's listen to this one first and then move on. Nice.
Darkness ever since.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Black Blanket played live at Broadstock. Yeah, it was like a wicked little festival. Do you know what I mean? It was nothing big. You know what I mean? It was just sort of, but he done it proper. I can't even remember his name. Don't matter. Yeah, like it had proper stage all built, and like it had like little stalls and that, and they used to sell some local lager. It was like near Hastings in Battle. And they used to sell like local lagers, and there was like a local cheesecake shop. Oh god, and they done this Oreo cheesecake, and it was just amazing, man. It was like proper nice. And yeah, we just used to go down there like for a couple of days, and on the evening there was like this big party at the other end of the garden. Like it was like a fairly large garden, you know what I mean? Like it's bigger than a football pitch. But yeah, it was good stuff, man. And then so yeah, I got another track, and it's from the same festival, and it's basically it's a cover song of Eric Clapton, Cream, Sunshine of Your Love, or Of My Love. Can't remember what way around it goes. Yeah, so we're up on the stage, because the audio that you're going to hear is like actually taken from a video. Like it's just the reason that I don't do these, well, they're YouTube videos, isn't they? But it's just basically got a still picture on the front. But the reason I don't really delve into the old video at the moment is because I'm blind, and it that'd be just too much hard work, you know what I mean? And I ain't really got a videographer to do this with, so we lose the video, I'm sorry to say. But it's, yeah, well, actually I don't know if you're going to get the full funniness of this next track, because you do need to see it, but I'm going to try to explain it because I know what it looks like, because when it happened I could see a bit. But so anyway, yeah, so it's a cover of Sunshine, Eric Clapton, Cream track. So we're on the stage, like, and we're playing this track, and anyway, coming near the end, like near when Steve's gonna do a solo, and basically I've got a pal called Desi, and he's actually my other mate Cook's uncle, but me and Des sort of like, well, we're both grown up on the same estate and all that. I know like their whole family, you know what I mean? They're like close friends to me, you know what I mean? But me and Des sort of like seem to hit it off, like, and like we're always together and that, like, and he used to come to all the gigs, and he used to film them, and he was just like top, man. He actually lives in Norwich now, so it's a bit harder to meet up. But so we're playing Sunshine, like we're coming to the solo at the end of the track, and like Steve's already like looking cool, whatever, to do his solo, and Desi, he's come flying out of the crowd. He had a pair of maracas in his hands. He's jumped on the stage, and at Steve's feet, he's just doing like this mental air guitar solo, like, and he's thrown the maracas before he's hit the stage, like, into the air. So I don't know, like, we actually got one back, but one of them went missing. So you'll never know where that maraca went. But it was so funny. Like, he's jumped on the stage, he's at Steve's feet doing air guitar. Steve's doing the actual real guitar, but like cracking up, like, and I'm looking over like to my right where Steve was standing, like, and even Richard, who was to my left, looking over as well, and like they're playing the track, and I can't remember if it's a chorus or a verse that I didn't come in, because I was laughing so much that I just couldn't sing, like, and then, but it was all right because they sort of like done what you do, you know what I mean, played like 4 times through the music, and then do you know what I mean, then I came in with the verse or the chorus or whatever it was, and yeah, the song sounds all right, but but it's just like the funny, like, and Desi's like, you wouldn't ever expect that of Desi. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just, I was standing there singing the song and I could just see the crowd like being parted as he was coming towards the stage, like with these maracas in his hands. Then you just see these maracas go flying into the sky, like, and then he's on the stage, like at Steve's feet, like leaning back and all that, and like doing air guitar, like, and it was proper funny. It was so funny. Like, if you had to be there, I suppose. But yeah, no, it was amazing. It was amazing. So yeah, I'll play you the track. It's near the end of the song when this happens, so I don't know if there's like some sort of way of telling that it's happening or whatever. But yeah, amazing. Yeah, sweet. Yes. Yeah. The Happy Mondays have got Bez and the Tally have got Des. Yeah. No, that was great. That was great. I loved it. Loved it. Nice one, Des. That was a good one, mate. Yes. Yeah, no, we used to enjoy like a load of us jumping in the motors, and you drive there, you put your motors in some field, and then lock them up and put your car keys somewhere safe, and then like get on it for the weekend. And then like on a Sunday afternoon, once everyone's sobered up, you drive home. But yeah, I can remember actually that it was the year before that we played it, and I can remember waking up on the Sunday morning like just hanging, like, and just like, oh God. And we was like people were helping clear up, and there was like sort of acoustic stuff going on in some tent, and then me and a few of the others decided we would walk to this petrol station, what had a little supermarket, and get some like food and drink and that, because we went looking at all the stalls and that, and everything had been demolished. So yeah, we walked, and it was like an hour and a half walk to this petrol station. I can remember it because we all went in, grabbed loads of food, right? It's so funny. We all just sat in the grass outside the supermarket eating this food because we were starving, like, and drinking Red Bulls, and it was mental. And then like we looked round, and Des has come walking out of the supermarket with a big crate of Strongbow on his shoulder. And he's just come over and sat in the middle of us, like, and slapped this crate of Strongbow, like, right in the centre of everyone. Everybody's like, no way, Des. There's no way we're drinking any of that. And Des is like, didn't ask you to. I'm going to drink it all myself. And it was so funny because we sat outside this supermarket probably for nigh on an hour. And by the time we decided to do the hour and a half trek back to this festival area or whatever, Des had already done 8 cans out of 24. And then he's walking down the street. He's got the rest of the crate on his shoulder and a can in his hand. And he's just, don't, mental. Yeah, so right. So next up, I've got like an EP that we recorded, the 4 of us lot, like me, Richard, Steve and Jack. And basically there's 4 songs on this EP, and they are Burn, There's Reason, She's Got the Moves, and Teenage Wasteland. And basically, yeah, we went to some recording studio that was in Uxbridge, and we recorded this 4-song EP. And basically, right, the 4 songs, I got good at doing this. They were songs that I'd already written, but like totally different music, completely different music. And then like when we was in rehearsal studios and stuff, and Richard Fox would like play me a bass riff and say, yeah, write something over that. Like I already had lyrics and stuff pre-written to these songs, like, and if you check me out on iTunes, like there's a few releases I've got on there, but these songs are on these recordings, but they're not these recordings, obviously. They're my music and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, and I gotta admit though, like obviously like Steve and Richard, like much better guitarists than me, and you know what I mean, like their music was just top, and it was just amazing that I had these songs and I'd not shown anyone. Like I was just sort of saving them for myself, you know what I mean. But I thought when I heard like some of the riffs and stuff that it's like I was going skiing with my wife, and then basically I had recorded on my iPhone like some of the rehearsals and like some of the tracks that these like Steve and Richard had put together, and they wanted me to put like vocal melodies and lyrics over the top of them. So I was like, all right, sweet. I thought, we're going away, I'll take it with me and that, and then you never know, like it might be a time when I can sit down and write some lyrics and stuff. So anyway, well, basically I got some time because like 2 days before the end of the skiing trip, I managed to smash my head in on the slope. And once you have a bit of a smash on the head, you don't really want to go skiing no more. So it's like, nah, you're all right, babe. Well, I'll tell you the truth, my wife Angie's not really into the old skiing herself, you know what I mean? It was just mental that I managed to pull her along with me to Bulgaria. And so anyway, so I smashed my head open quite badly on the old slopes, and decided that I would not go skiing for the last 2 days of the holiday. So we were sort of like just doing other stuff around the resort and that, but spent a bit of time in our room, and just got to work on these songs, and basically just got the songs that I had and ripped the lyrics off of them, and then stretched them and squashed them and pulled them, poked them so they would fit into this music that these lot had given me to write stuff to. But anyway, so we recorded a 4-song EP, and this is their sort of music with my lyrics and melody. Well, the melody is completely different to the melody of my own song, you know what I mean? Because obviously their music's different, so I had to do what I did to make it fit, you know what I mean? But yeah, sweet little EP. When I listen back to it these days, I feel that, like, because obviously when you're working with an engineer or whatever, that they sort of think that they're a producer as well, like, and like that they try to influence you into doing things in certain ways. And when I listen back to this EP, I don't think the drums are recorded very well. It's not the drumming. Jack was a brilliant drummer, but it's just I don't know, like the way he's EQ'd and compressed it, and it's just the sounds. It doesn't sound like Jack, you know what I mean? Like live, and that's what you should go for, man. You should go for what you sound like on stage, and also like he's sometimes like he's put like, I don't know, maybe I sung a dud note, and instead of saying to me, get back in that booth and do it until it's done properly or whatever, he's like put space, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, I don't know, like flexed it to fit and whatever, and it just in places makes me sound like a robot, which I think is rubbish. Then again, he might have just done it because that was what he was into, you know what I mean? That sort of thing or whatever. Producers, what do you do with them, eh? Well, he's not even a producer, he's an engineer sort of producer, if you like. Anyway, let me play you the 4 tracks, and you can have a listen, see what you think, and make your own mind up whether you'd spend money to have it recorded at this studio. I can't actually remember the name of just my head. I'll just only little details that I forget in it. So let me play it. The first track is There's a Reason, and this one is sort of, I don't know, me and Richard wrote this one, and it goes a little bit like this.
walk the line and dish your boats. Who she is, you'll never know. There's a reason that I'm feeling these feelings that I'm feeling for her. There's a reason that I'm feeling these feelings that I'm feeling for her. When she's not home, she makes me die. Yeah, when she's gone, all the time is what I need. I know she's going to see my grief. There's a reason that I'm feeling these feelings that I'm feeling for her. There's a reason that I'm feeling these feelings that I'm feeling for her. There's a reason that I'm feeling these feelings that I'm feeling for her. There's a reason that I'm feeling these feelings that I'm feeling for her.
Yes. Yeah. So that was There's a Reason. That I really like that song. I think it's a top tune. And Jack's drumming on that song, like the beat that he put to that to take my hat off to old Jack for that one. Yeah, that was top. All right, so let's carry on with this EP. And so the next tune that I'm going to play you off of it is a song called Burn. So let's have a listen. Nice one. Yes, and that was Burn. So far, There's a Reason, Burn, and even Teenage Wasteland, which I will play last, have sort of been mainly me and Richard, I think. But this next tune that I'm going to play you, she's got the moves. I remember that Steve Smith had a lot to do with the music in this tune. You can hear my Jack Russell attacking the postman. Okay, so yeah, I'll play She's Got the Moves. Nice one. And that was She's Got the Moves. Yeah, it's a nice little tune. All of these tunes on this EP are pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, not recorded the greatest, but not too bad. But yeah, so we have got one left off the EP, which is Teenage Wasteland, which I've already played you a version of it live at the Water Rats in King's Cross. But yeah, this is the studio version, so let's have it with this one and then move on.
Teenage wasteland, an overthrown seashore, a magic playground, never give up what's yours. Take it or leave it, with hell Emotions are strange when you're tied down. The person to blame is wearing the crown.
Nice one. Okay, so that was the EP that we recorded. I can remember that Steve wanted to call the EP Epicenter, like EP Epicenter, you know what I mean? Like, which I actually thought it was alright, yeah, and I was happy with that. But Richard wasn't happy with it, so we never went with it. Well, we never really done much with it. I think Richard actually released it on iTunes without us sort of knowing, like, so that there is a Tally EP out there on iTunes that has got nothing comes off of it towards me, Steve and Jack, or actually they could have all been in on it. Nah, it's just Richard. Yeah, okay. So now I've got a version of She's Got the Moves, but it's played live on a boat on the Thames. Yeah, that was a good experience as well, playing on a boat. Like, I remember, like, so our pals are in a band. I've mentioned them earlier, I think, called FC20, and the drummer Scott, he's a top geezer. I mean, they're all top, all of them. But yeah, and actually, to tell you the truth, their band, like, it weren't my music I sort of make, but I fucking loved them. I used to love going to watch them. You know what I mean? Even if I weren't playing, like, but this night, Scott sort of rang me and said, like, what's happening? You're gonna support us on the boat? And I was like, yeah, definitely, mate. So I remember I had it was mental, like, because I was looking forward to it, like, for about a fortnight from when he told me about it. And then, like, the day before the gig always happens to me. I got a proper sore throat, and I was like, oh, but I'm doing my best in this recording. Again, this is audio that's been stolen from a video, which would be nice to show people, like, but I can't do all that. Yeah, so yeah, like, have a listen. She's Got the Moves on the Thames. Here we go.
Yeah, this one's from my fiancée Angie. I love you, babe. You've always got the moves. Some say she's sweet like candy. Maybe
Yes, and that was on the River Thames. Yeah, just another little good experience. I remember we came off stage and then it was FC20's turn and we just went mental. Like, yeah, I had Angie with me and Desi was with me, and like Desi was like a good pal, man. He used to come to the gigs and do all these films and videos and that, and yeah, it's mental. But yeah, so as the tally went on from here, I don't know, it was like Jack was from Essex, and he had a girlfriend here called Charlotte, I think. But well, basically, if Charlotte and Jack had an argument, like Jack weren't going to be staying at her house or whatever, like, and then he had to make his way back to Essex after a rehearsal or whatever. And when you're finishing at like 11 o'clock at night, and then also Steve didn't actually live in London, it was like on the outskirts of London, so he had all trains to get and all that. And then Richard, I think, I don't know where he lived in London, but it weren't like close to northwest London where I'm from, you know what I mean? I think he was like west or something, you know. And it was just it was becoming like a chore for everyone to meet up to rehearse. Like, I mean, everyone's sweet about meeting up for gigs and that, but the only way you progress, and do you know what I mean, you have to rehearse. It's just how it goes, isn't it? Like, and yeah, and I think like Richard weren't happy in the band and whatever, but anyway, me and Steve started to do a lot more acoustic-y sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, and once again, he played me this acoustic tune he had on the guitar, and it was amazing bit of guitar in it. Do you know what I mean? It was amazing. Like, and he sort of said, put something on that, and I was like, all right, sweet. Like, took a recording of his guitar and then basically went home with it and just sat there. And at first I was sort of thinking, yeah, I'm going to write a new song. But then I'm going through the old chest of tunes, and I found this song that I wrote called Hampstead Heath. And basically my music version of it is no way as good as his version on the guitar, like, but it seemed to fit perfect with my version, you know what I mean? It's just like, so I again stripped the lyrics from my song and done my architecture, fitting it into his music 100%. And yeah, and it's an amazing song, man. Yeah, so I'm gonna play you like an acoustic version I've got of it, and it goes like this.
View from a hill where they're flying kites, they're overlooking life in my paradise. Hampstead Heath is where I'll be, it's what I need inside my city. A pond's mist a swan's hiss, a swimmer on the diving board. Yeah, this morning's Chris. Hampstead Heath is where I'll be. It's what I need inside my city. Get outside, get outside. There's no excuse or reason why. And get outside, get outside. There's no excuse or reason why. Hampstead Heath is where I'll be. It's what I need inside my city. Hampstead Heath is what I'll be. It's where I need inside my city. View from a hill where they're flying kites, they're overlooking life in my paradise.
Yeah, and that was Hampstead Heath, about a park in northwest London, northwest London, that's got a great massive place in my heart is in that park. It's just an amazing place, you know what I mean? I can remember being there since I was born till this day, and when I take my own children over there. Yeah, amazing. So it deserved the song, and that was it. And yeah, that was the version, the co-written version between me and Steve. But the essence of the song came out of a tune that I'd already written. It's actually on my first album, Little Green Street. There's a version of it on there. Obviously, the guitar playing ain't nothing like what Steve done, but there's a version of it on there. You want to check that out. Yeah, so like at this point, the tally was just imploding, you know what I mean? It's just like coming, it was breaking up, man. Yeah, God. All right. Yeah, so anyway, so yeah, it was coming to an end, you know what I mean? Like Richard, I think he'd already found a new band, to tell you the truth, he just didn't tell us. Yeah, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Let me play you this last tune that I've found. This is our second to last gig, and it's at the Good Mixer in Camden on Inverness Street, a great little pub that was like the haunt of all me and my friends and all the bands that were in like our group of pals. There was like 4 or 5 bands just in our group of pals, you know what I mean? But yeah, the Mixer was our little haunt where we used to like to go and drink, if you like, and we was friends with the owner and all that. But yeah, this next song is a song called "The Tale of Lice and Men," and basically this song is basically the bass player of The Voice, the original bass player of The Voice, Jamie Nicholas. Well, basically, there was a lady that I was seeing, and This is like years before I met my wife. And anyway, Jamie liked her, and yeah, basically just they done a runner on me and ended up getting married and having kids and all that, which is fair enough. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think if Jamie would have just spoke to me, like, because I mean, I don't think I was into her in any way that he was into her. You know what I mean? Like, and like, I would have easily stepped aside for him, being my lifelong friend, you know what I mean? But he done it behind my back, which weren't great, but we've sorted it out now, you know what I mean? I love Jamie, and we're pals and that, but I can't help it, I love the song. Yeah, so this tune's about that situation, you know what I mean? But as a bit of a protest, I played it live at the mixer with the tally, and yeah, this is the recording from that gig. Yeah, I just really I should change the lyrics to the song, and then I could use it. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't think Jamie listens to this anyway, so I don't think he's gonna hear it. But yeah, so it's called The Tale of Lice and Men. Basically, yeah. All right, let's just do the song, and then we can have a little talk, and then we can have a CHAP TAIL, and then we're done. Nice one.
Tale of Lice and Men.
Yeah. Right, punky song, you know what I mean? I can't help it. I just like that tune. You know what I mean? I know it's about a shit subject and might bring bad feelings out of floorboards, but yeah, just thought I'd get that. Yeah. Okay, so basically, yeah. So at this point, the tally is just imploding, man. It's just dying, and basically, after this gig, we're sort of sitting having a beer talking, and Richard just comes out with, I've joined another band. I'm leaving this one, and sorry, but do you know what I mean? But we had another gig booked at the Fiddler's Elbow. I can't remember. It was like some friend's night or something. I don't know what it was, but we had this gig booked, and I was sort of like, well, we can't play the gig, Rich, man. If you just like leave us in the lurch. So Richard's like, well, my new band are playing at the gig as well, and I was like, what? But turned out we was on after them. So basically, Richard went on stage with his new band. I didn't even get there until after they'd finished anyway. But yeah, and then basically he stuck around and played with us as well. So he was on stage with two of the bands that night, and yeah, so basically me and Steve got up first and we played Hampstead Heath acoustic, and then Jack and Richard, sorry, it weren't, I forgot to tell you about that, didn't I? I forgot about that. Jack had actually, about a month previous, had already left the band. I think the travelling in from Essex and that was just doing his nutting, and he just decided that he'd had enough. And we actually found another drummer called John Gibbons, this young fella from Richmond. But he was a top drummer, man. Proper top drummer, man. I can remember another time as well, actually, that I didn't mention. That it was like within this month or whatever. It's probably the gig before this gig. We had a gig booked, and it was like my sort of engagement party, if you like, and it was at a pub called The Comedy in Leicester Square. And basically, yeah, Jack had already gone, so we had me, Richard, and John Gibbons on drums now. But he was a young fella. I think when he joined the band, he was 17. You know what I mean? Not far off of 18, but he was 17. And so anyway, we go down for the sound check at this comedy place, and we're all going in like, and then this bouncer sort of stepped over and put his hand on John's shoulder and it's gone, excuse me, mate, how old are you? John's like, 18. He's like, you ain't 18, you're about 15. He's like, no, I'm not, I'm 17. But it was just so funny that he like grasped himself up, but it was only because the bouncer had said he was only 15. He's like, no, I'm not, I'm 17. Like, and the bouncer's like, well, you ain't coming in here then. And we was like begging him. We was like, come on, man, he won't have a drink. He's just going to play on stage and then he can leave. But the bouncer just wouldn't have none of it. So we was in a pickle, man, because we was there. We just drummerless. We didn't even have acoustic guitars with us, so we couldn't have like swapped it into much of an acoustic set, you know what I mean? So I was like, don't worry, right, because it's my engagement sort of party, whatever, my pal Sam Talent is coming to watch us, and basically I'll just ring him, tell him to get his speed on, and he will play drums for us, and I reckon he's that good that he probably, like, some of the tunes that we was playing was still some of my old stuff, and he would have played in it definitely before, you know what I mean? Even though it's different guitarists on the stage with me, you know what I mean? So I rang Sam and I was like, Sam, hello mate. I said, have you left to come to the party yet? And he went, yeah, I have actually. I'm just like in Leicester Square, like just watching some juggler or something. And I was like, oh, sweet. I was like, get round here now, I need you. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, they won't let our drummer in because he's too young. And he's like, oh my God. And I was like, I need your sound, mate. And he's like, yeah, tell your drummer I'm going to need his cymbals and his foot pedal and that and all these breakables. And I was like to Gibbons, I was like, mate, please, we need your cymbals and your sticks and your, do you know what I mean? Your foot pedal and whatever else it was that your snare drum as well. Yeah. And he was sweet, John. He just like, I'm so sorry that I can't play. And I was like, no, don't be silly, mate. You know what I mean? It's not your fault. It's it's our fault for trying to get you to play in like an over 18s venue when you're 17. But so he went home like he had a couple of his pals with him as well, and they was all 17, so none of them got in. Like, so Sam's come round, and then I was like, right. I told the geezer, like, I said, look, we're going to need a bit of a longer sound check just because we're sort of like, he won't let our drummer in, so we've got to use someone else. And like, the geezer's like, you lot are here in good time, man. He said, get on the stage and just have a bit of a jam, and then we'll sort some levels out. And I was like, nice one, mate. So we got up on the stage. We had like a mini rehearsal, played like 30 seconds of about six or seven songs, and Sam was pretty like confident that he was going to do all right. And I was like, oh, nice one, brother, man. So, but yeah, we played the gig and he done well, man. He done well. But back to like so we're at the Fiddlers, and like we're sort of having a beer, and Richard's telling us that he's leaving the band and that, and John's sort of like, I've only been in the band 3 months or whatever. And I was like, yeah. I said, don't worry. I said, let Richard go, and we'll try and keep this going. Like, we'll find a new bass player. We'll try and keep this going. The problem with that was we'd sort of totally changed our sound, and basically the band was moulded around his bass, because not only was he playing bass, where I only played guitar maybe in 2 songs, he was sort of playing like rhythm and bass in the bass, you know what I mean? Like, and then leaving Steve to sort of do his little decorating on the top, you know what I mean? So we did have a couple of rehearsals, trying out new guys and that, and me and Steve actually got into a bit of an argument in one rehearsal because this bass player, he weren't playing the songs right, and I was getting angry. I don't know why. Poor fella, I don't even know who he is, but I was sort of like saying to him, no mate, you play it like this. And like, I think the fella was sort of like, well, if you know how to play this on the bass so well, why don't you play the bass? And I was like, I can't play the bass. But yeah, and then Steve sort of had a pop at me, and then I had a pop at him, and then like I think after that was it. Like, we was in Storm Studios down Holloway, just off Holloway Road, and yeah, we weren't going anywhere, you know what I mean? Like, it was so hard. Like, I got to admit, like, Richard was like a bit of concrete in the band. He totally changed the sound. So it was like, he was a good bass player as well, and it was hard for these bass players filling in to do you know what I mean? To sort of do what do you know what I mean? We've got the EP there showing them the EP, the bass and that, and they just couldn't do it, you know what I mean? What we probably should have got a rhythm guitarist in as well as a bass player, and then we probably could have done something that way, you know what I mean? But after Steve had sort of had a pop at me that day, you know what I mean? I just like saw him through a different light, and I was just like, nah man, I ain't, because at this time as well, my eyes were proper playing up, you know what I mean? I was like, well, I needed to be cabbed to and from places. I just couldn't, especially at night, I just could not see a thing, and it was becoming too much, you know what I mean? This and that, I just couldn't do it. So yeah, so that was sadly the end of the tally. Yeah. I've got a little chap towel that I want to let you listen to, and then that's it, and then we will move on to next month. But yeah, let's have a listen to this CHAP TAIL, and then we can have a little talk, and then it's bye-byes. Okay.
CHAP tales. Don't you wanna hear some CHAP tales?
Pulling things out of the bag. This is just a silly little story, you know what I mean? It's back tally, but back when we played the Fiddlers and we had Spug on lead guitar and Shan on bass, myself on rhythm and vocals, and the drummer was Sam Talent, I think, yeah. Anyway, we're playing this gig at the Fiddler's Elbow, so we're all standing out on Morden Road, like outside, like we'd just done our sound check, and then now we're outside, and loads of our pals are turning up to see the gig, like, so there's a few of us outside, like, but and we're standing with the promoter. Some fella thought he was like, do you know what I mean? Like, he just thought he was Charlie Big Potatoes, you know what I mean? Like, so we're sitting there, and he's like giving it this and giving it that, and trying to like be a bit of a whatever you want to call it. Anyway, my old man is like, I don't know, he's about 100 yards up the road, like coming down towards the venue to come and watch the gig, you know what I mean? My old man, I don't know what you want to say about my old man, bit of a face, you know what I mean? Cockney, proper Cockney as well. Do you know what I mean? He's coming down the road, and I've got to admit, my old man had a bit of a bow on him, you know what I mean? Like, and do you know what I mean? But the thing with my old man is, he could back it up, you know what I mean? You're gonna walk like that, you gotta be able to back it up, ain't you? Like, and so anyway, we're standing there, and so this promoter's there, and all my mates are sort of there listening to what he's saying, and then he spotted my dad, and he's like, bloody hell, does this fella need some fruit with that bow or what? And so everyone's looked round and seen this my old man, like, and they're all like looking at this fella smiling and that, like. So I said to him, I said, that's my old man. I said, do you want to ask him if he needs some fruit with that bowl? And he was like, is your old man? And he's like, nah, don't worry about it. Then just we'll leave it at that. And anyway, by this time, my old man's like arrived with us, you know what I mean? Like, and I turned around to him and I said, Dad. And he's like, yeah, what's up? He's like, I said, this fella wants to know if you need some fruit to go in your bowl. And he's like, what fella? And I swear to God, he looked at this promoter and he just melted. There was a puddle on the floor where he'd melted. He just like, and yeah, nothing bad happened. Like, my dad just sort of looked at him and said, what fruit you got then, mate? And then he just like started licking my dad's ass, you know what I mean? Like, oh, sorry mate. But anyway, we all went into the gig, and if I can remember rightly, I think that was a pretty good gig. Another thing I can remember from the gig was, like, at that time I used to love like dressing up like a bit of a mod, you know what I mean? And I had this like sleeveless V-neck sweater over the top of a white Ben Sherman shirt, and like some Stay Pressed Levi's and desert boots or whatever, I don't know, or bowling shoes, whatever I had on that time. And I can remember because Shan was from Spain, so he didn't have any clue about any, do you know what I mean, London fashions and the way things was once and whatever. But Shan's looked at me and he's just like, what are you wearing? And I was like, well, what's the matter with what I'm wearing? And he's like, come on. He's like, you look like a CUNT. And I was like, oh, thanks. But I remember I went home that night and I was like looking in the mirror and I thought, yeah, it looks smart and all that. But then I thought to myself, it ain't me. Shan's right. It's just definitely not me. Yeah, so I didn't wear that jumper ever again. Yeah, so that's the end of the old CHAP TAIL. And so we've come to the end of the tally then. That is, there's probably loads more stories that I'm forgetting to tell you, you know what I mean? My head's like a sieve. But if they pop up in my head in future episodes or whatever, you never know, I might tell you anyway. But yeah, thank you very much for listening, if you have listened, or if you do listen in the future or whatever. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, so next month is basically I'm bandless again, but instead of going out and creating a new band, which I just couldn't, I just couldn't do it again. I was just like, I do it again, but not next month. Yeah, so basically next month was the start of my acoustic solo sort of era. And let's see what I can dig up for that episode. All right, nice one. Thanks for listening. Cheers. See you soon.
CHAP CAST!